So, Sunday, February 9th, about 11 o'clock, and this thing's a mess. We're outside the old wood shop, and craft room is pretty much done, ready for my wife. So, a little bit of overview. This shop was built 12 by 12 with a storage loft and metal roof, and it was just studs with plywood sheeting. It was nothing built to be, extravagant. It's like 12 by 12, maybe 12 by 13. So, we put this office in here in 2022 for my wife for the business end of it, and we put a little addition, which is a mess, over here for the wood stuff, and then we went from woodworking to a gym. So we got a rower and that sort of stuff, and then all of a sudden she said, well, I want to take and start doing card making, and got away from the woodworking. So then the card making stuff's been taking up the house. This kind of goes. So let's take a look inside the craft room. So we got an interior door, add some weather stripping. Pull his door shut. Little cadet heater. So what we did was we basically added this wall, and then basically he just had to sheet insulate it. So this is about, I don't know, 57, 58 inches. I can't remember, maybe 59 and a half. So the floor is 2x4s. It's not tongue and groove, just something simple to help take up some of the sponginess we had going on with the thing. Like I said, this shop was built in a cheap 5.5 years ago. We had the window here. This is just like a common pine board that we mitered the edges. Turned out pretty nice. Again, the door. This wall is 2x4. It's this is actually not sheetrock. It's 5mm like underlayment. Works pretty well. This wall is 15/32 plywood. Now, this was part of the office that you saw outside. So, this door we built in the cheap. It's a door blank. And we used a ground rod. And so this wall is actually 2x2. And so we actually used the ground rods and garage door pulleys and made this sliding door. And it works pretty well. So, she still has her office out here. So, it's OSB ceiling. And just to be clear, we like the same look. So, it's can't really tell. But it's OSB ceiling. Lights blow it out. So, anyway, so she still got her little office out here, and it's more like a closet, but it works well. So with the craft room, we really wanted to add on to it. So let me, if I can not knock stuff over here. I'm just going to take a step in here so you get the full idea. Now this is all IKEA furniture. So it's like they have two different styles of bookcases and or cabinets, and like a clock a lot of, or anyway, it's Swedish, I can't pronounce it. So that gives you an idea of what exactly we're working with. So this was a 4x4, and all this IKEA stuff had to be slightly modified to fit the space. So this was a 4x4, and we actually had to cut this end in by, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. To make this fit. We took out the upper shelves so that we could have access to this cubby. This was a 4x2, and so we basically cut it down to make the corner, and then basically cut this down to make this little shelf here. This was just a single 4-piece that we had to cut down, and we used the shelf as the end. And like I said, this is all just, well, this is half 15/32 plywood, but this is all just 5mm. So the desktop, just a project board, and so there's 16-inch, a 24-inch, and then up again underneath we have a overkill bracket by yours truly to pick up this corner here, and these are just shelf brackets. So picked up this pegboard pretty cheap. Like I said, nothing crazy. These lights are actually independently switched. So if I want, I think, yeah. So we have two independent lights. Real neat little boxless surface mount can light, as we just call them. These were some cheap, let me see if I can get, these were some cheap under cabinet lights that Lowe's had on clearance before we started this project I picked up. I don't have the valance on them, but we built this valance, and it's screwed in, but we're going to double-side tape it. You can see we got double outlet, USB Type A, USB-C. I don't know, I'm not a finished guy, so I wish this was more level. SJ cord ran to junction box, no Romex visible, and then you can just see how that's all done. So we need to fix this little trim piece in the corner, but it turned out pretty nice. All this, which didn't turn out as nice, you can see. So the 5mm, we sealed it, like where we seamed it with like a Fuse-It liquid nails product. Always use kind of like these Grake cabinet screws. They're like 1 inch or 1 1/4. Those always turn out pretty nice. And we got a programmable thermostat. We're gonna do a mini split out here. Didn't happen. Wife just said, "Yeah, let's just do a cadet heater like our house has." And we wire these up so we can actually, you can still have independent control over the lights if you want, or you just have one. Wish I could have got like a three-piece switch rather than like a dual, but looked around, couldn't get one through our supplier. So that's kind of it. And the actual ceiling height here is over 8 foot because these are 8-foot studs. It's sitting about half of a 2x4 height because it was originally a 3/8 OSB floor in here before the 2x4s. And then this trim is just like a MDF trim, nothing fancy that I've caulked all in. So our actual height of our wall is 8 foot. Plus, I don't know, a double top plate on top. So this height's a little bit funky, and but I think this will be pretty nice. We've talked about maybe we've got an office chair. She's got an office chair she's gonna get, and we've talked about making a fold up work, like another extension of this. But I don't know if we're gonna do it or not. So yeah, this has been the project of what's been going on. If you made it this far, truth be told, I had an uncle pass away suddenly a week and a half ago. And I called my mother and I went to tell her that, and then she told me that her dad, my grandfather, is on hospice because he's got leukemia and he's down and he's got days to live. So it's been nice to have a project, and this all needs to be caulked and cleaned up, but it's been nice to have a project to kind of focus on a little bit. Tomorrow, the 10th, I take a red-eye flight to Phoenix and then drive to Tucson for ASP training with Rainbird. So it's been nice to have something to work on. So we've almost thought about putting a laminate, like a peel and stick tile on here, and just haven't done it. We just don't know if we'll do it or not. Paint's getting, it's gotten dusty and scuffed and fingerprints and all that stuff, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm not a finished guy, and I was just out every step along the way. A lot of things we had to think through to get things done, and working in an environment that was never supposed to be a finished space. Just going to be forever be a wood shop. So anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm going to put in a clip of kind of in progress of us working on this thing too. So, but hopefully, whole reason I'm posting this video is maybe that helps inspire you to go do something, right? Anything's possible. If I can do this, then imagine what you can do.